I thought he was already dead. I had dreadlocks for one day. That was pathetic. Yeah, the Sausage King of Essex.
Baby shark, do 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 do.
I said, what's the easiest thing to learn? They said the drums.
Hang on, you were in a band? All right, Lee?
All right.
How's it going?
All right, yeah.
So, we're going to have a chat today about the songs that have punctuated the poignant moments of your life.
Wow, yeah. That's a walk down memory lane, isn't it?
Exactly. It's going to be exciting. So, you're from Essex.
Yep.
What part of Essex?
Southend.
Southend?
Southend.
So you literally grew up with the sea?
I grew up the sea, yeah.
That's nice.
I came from Benfleet originally.
Okay.
And I moved out of Benfleet to kind of the Southend area when I was about 25 or 26. And Benfleet's a real suburban little town. And it is not surrounded by the sea.
Right.
But it was all good, though.
And tell me about your parents.
Oh, my God. Jess, how do you talk about my dad in a minute?
Summary.
Oh, my God. Summary of my dad. Yeah, the Sausage King of Essex.
The Sausage King of Essex?
Sausage King of Essex, yeah.
Because
he's got a factory in Dagenham in Essex that just makes sausages. Amazing sausages, right? Even though I love him, he's a fucking nightmare.
Right,
Yeah.
okay. And your mum?
My mum had passed away a few years back, but she was sort of, she was an Essex girl.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, like a lot of our mums and dads that from Essex, they all come from the East End, But was my mum an East End girl or an Essex girl? Should know that, shouldn't I, really?
Yeah.
But mum was beautiful, fantastic, amazing. Strong woman, like, she had to be the part of my dad.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget the day that my mum got the upper hand on my dad.
Okay.
Because for years he would shout and scream and my mum would cower, She just picked up the heaviest thing she could find and threw it at him, right?
Okay.
And after that day, my mum ruled the roost because every time my dad got out of hand, he'd run. Because she'd pick up that heavy and he was getting it.
Siblings?
My brother Jonathan, who had a brain injury, unfortunately, about 10 years ago. But even though he had a severe brain injury, he's probably the most contented, happiest person I know, and his whole personality has been magnified like times 10. And he was already a big personality before, so there's never a dull moment in my brother's company.
Cool. So let's talk about earliest musical memories. Was there a lot of music in your house when you were growing up?
Do you know what? I mean, I can always remember an Alvin Stardust album.
Okay.
For some reason, I'll never forget that album cover. He was all dressed in black leather. I think he was just a complete rip-off of Elvis, to be quite honest with you. My mum loved Elvis.
Okay.
My dad liked the rip-off of Elvis. Alvin Stardust with his leather glove. I always remember the album cover, he'd be like reaching down into the audience with just this big glove,
Hello.
Look at the carrots. She's not eating chocolate, she's eating carrots. Look, good girl. No, my earliest memory, to be quite honest, was, and I can't remember exactly how old I was, but I know I was very young. And I can't remember much, to be quite honest, because my head's been fried over the years, right?
Right, okay.
My memory is not as sharp as most people.
Yeah.
But the song that I'll never forget is Grandad. It was by, who was it by?
The little kids singing Grandad, We Love You.
It was by Clive Dunn, right? Grandad, We Love You. Because when I was a kid, kids, they only think you've got one mum and dad. They think the song's about... And it was the same with me with Grandad. My family convinced me that it was about my granddad. I didn't know there was any other granddads in the world. I just thought there was one. It was my granddad. They were all singing to my granddad. Every time that tune came on, I went berserk. And now, being a parent myself, it must have been amazing for everyone to watch.
Yeah.
How excited I was every time the song came on the radio,
That is so cute. That is such a lovely story.
Yeah, I know.
Like little Lee,
I'll
just like,
never forget
that's my
it.
granddad.
I mean, there's not much I remember as a kid, a really young kid. I'd like to know how old I was. Let's see when that record came out.
Yeah, do it. I remember that song from, it was on, like, you know, my mum listened to Radio 2. Yeah, all the little kids singing. I mean, you listen to it now and you're like, Jesus.
Oh, it's great, isn't it? I love it. 1970.
It's 1970, yeah.
So I was 4 years old.
Oh.
So I was the same age as Angel.
Yeah.
And my son now.
So you said that your mum listened to Elvis.
My mum was a fanatical Elvis fan.
Okay.
Hence why my middle daughter's called Elvis.
Oh,
you know,
cute.
so and my auntie was a fanatical Elvis fan. And again, how old was I when Elvis died? Did he die in 1976?
That's a really good fact that we
was
should
it
probably
1976?
find out.
What did I say? 1976?
Yeah, you were close.
1977. So I was 11 at the time, and I'll never forget. I was in Benfleet, and my mum's sister lived just up the road from us, and she had 4 kids, so they were all my cousins. And I was round there one day, and Elvis died, and my mum was in tears. My auntie was in tears. It was all over the front pages of all the papers and all the news. And I came in and I went, I thought he was already dead.
Is there a particular track that you remember your mum listening to?
Can't help falling in love.
Oh, yeah. That's a lovely song, isn't it?
Yeah, I always remember my mum, you know, singing along to that one.
Oh, and so you said your dad kind of listened to some of the other...
To be quite honest with you, my dad, I don't think... You know, I never remember him playing music.
Right, OK.
And even now... He can't remember the music he even likes,
right,
or the people he's been listening to. I mean, I can see where I get that from a bit, you know. Yeah, so he's never really been a big music fan, my dad. My mum more so.
Yeah, and it was the Elvis.
And it was
obviously.
definitely Elvis, yeah.
Awesome. And so, what about your brother? Was he an influence to you and your music tastes?
Well, my brother was younger than me. He was 4 years younger. And I always remember I bought my mum and dad's. My mum and dad split up when we was quite young. Well, not that young, about 10. But anyway, when I was about 17, I bought the house off my mum and dad that I grew up in. So I was quite young, 17. I think my brother was, I might have been 18. My brother was still at school. So, you know, and it was the house we grew up in as a kid. So I spent a long time with
How did you manage to do that at 17?
Well, what it was, I bought my mum's half to begin with.
Right.
And then I ended up buying my dad's half. And don't ask me how I did it. I was going to say,
were you working at the time?
I mean, I was, you know, I was always a schemer back then.
Right,
you know what I mean? I was always hustling, you know. So God knows how I did it. I never forget how I bought my first shop though, because I worked in my mum's dining room for 6 years, and then I wanted to buy a little shop. It was only in Hadley, very suburban town. And I went to the bank manager, and I wish I had a film of my pitch at like, I was like 22 to the bank manager, because I was obviously very enthusiastic, because the bank manager went, I wanted to borrow 30 grand to do this shop, you know. And he went, yeah, we'll lend you 30 grand. It's unsecured, right? I didn't have anything to secure it to. He said, but we want to see your 30 grand go in the bank, right? And I'm like, well, I didn't figure that, right? I haven't got 30 grand, right? I mean, I didn't tell him that. So what I did, I ended up borrowing £30,000 off of literally every person I knew. I borrowed 1,000 there, 2,000 there, put it in the bank to show him that it was, I've got my 30 grand to match his. And then I just drew it all out and gave it back to everybody, you know. Then I used his 30 grand to do the shop. So I probably bought the house something on them lines, you know.
Just, being a hustler.
So anyway, your question was, did my brother influence me? Well, I mean...
If he's your little brother, you probably influenced him.
Well, to say that, I mean, my little brother, I remember, he, out of everybody, out of all my crowd, he was the first one to go to Ibiza.
Okay.
You know, back in the acid house days. And he was the one that came back from Ibiza and went, I've stumbled across something amazing here.
Amazing.
And so he was quite and obviously we got, you know, we spent probably 3 or 4 years of our life on that acid house scene, which was an amazing movement. And we was all very young, you know, and it was amazing. I loved it. But my brother probably introduced me to that.
Oh, cool. So maybe not so much when you were little, when he was looking up to you, but as you got older, he was the first one to kind of be like...
He was always into his music, actually. He loved Wham.
Wham,
Oh,
really?
yeah, his hair, just like, because he's got hair similar to George Michael, it's quite curly.
Yeah.
So he'd get the big round brush out and have it all whammed up. Oh, he loved Wham. I'll never forget the hairdo. You know?
And any instruments? Do you play any instruments?
My God. I mean, when we was about, God, how old was we? Probably must have been late 20s or early 30s. All my mates were in a band and they were desperate for me to be in the band, right? And I'm like, well, I can't sing, right? I don't play any instruments. What the fuck am I going to do? Bang a tambourine?
Hang on, you were in a band?
Well, yeah, so they went, well, learn the drums or learn anything. I said, what's the easiest thing to learn? They said the drums. So I bought a fucking drum kit, right? I've got it up in the bedroom of my house. Okay. Right, I've got, like, lodgers living everywhere, under the stairs and all sorts. And every morning I get up at 5 a.m, like, practising on the drums, right? And, OK, I had the pads on them, but they still make a fucking lot of noise, you know?
Yeah.
And I got into the band. And I was the drummer. I was terrible. I mean, terrible. So much. And I was trying. I was like, you know, up every morning at 5 o'clock. You know, it takes a while to get good at an instrument, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know? So in the end, I remember one of my other mates came in who could play the drums.
And they ditched you.
And we had the meeting. They went, Lee, you're being dropped from the band.
What was the band called?
Made in May.
Made in May.
Made in May, yeah.
Oh, that's quite a cute name.
You think so?
Yeah, Made in May.
Yeah.
And what, did you do covers or did you have your own songs?
I had our own songs. I've got this one picture at home of the band and it looks really cool. But
I'd love to see that picture. We're going to have to put that in this.
It's a great picture.
Yeah.
More to the fact that I had dreadlocks, right?
What?
I had dreadlocks down to there.
You had dreadlocks?
I had dreadlocks
and you were a drummer in a band?
I had dreadlocks for one day. And I were captured in this picture. I had them put in London, and it was, I'll never forget, it was the height of the summer. It was like having a fucking tea cosy on my head,
Yeah,
these big adventures, right? Yeah. And at night I was trying to sleep on the pillow, and it was so painful, I had no sleep. And then I woke up the next day and it was hot again. And I had this tea cosy that I couldn't take off. And I was just like, get these out. But literally, in that window, we've got this cool picture of the band and I've got dreads.
And how old were you when this was happening?
God, I must have been late 20s.
Awesome. So you were Made in May, with your dreadlocks, drumming really badly.
But then I got booted out. And
But that's
the
when you were
dreadlocks
like,
went.
thought maybe I'll stick to the hairdresser.
I mean, I don't hold it against them at all. I'd have kicked me out. You know what I mean?
Going back a little bit before you were in Made in May, do you remember the first song you learned all the words to? Did you have any pop songs when you were a kid that you loved?
I always get the words muddled up to everything.
Give me some examples.
I'm just pathetic. I can't even give you examples. Every song. I'll say, just go, you singing the wrong thing, donut. You know what I mean? But the one song I think that I probably got nearer than any other song was the Sugar Hill Gang.
Rapper's Delight. So it's a rap.
Yeah. Oh, you obviously know that tune.
Of course she does.
Of course you know.
You're going to have to give me a couple of lines of it. If you know the words, then a hip, hop, a hip, a hippity, a hip, hip, hop, and you don't stop, a rockin' to the bang, bang, boogie to the
boogie to the bang, and to the boogie to the beat.
Hey!
That's it.
Cool Made in May. He wants to resurrect his musical career.
Do
you remember what the first single was that you bought?
I think the first single that I ever bought was, I think it was The Specials. Because,
okay, cool.
Because
Very cool first single.
Well, no, it's just because I remember I was my cousin and all his like who were a few years older than me on Harold Hill, Essex, which is like the Bronx of Essex.
Right.
They were all mods back in the day.
Amazing.
Yeah, and I was just I can't remember how old I was. I might have been 14 or 30. I was very young, and they were all like 16 or 70s. They're all like big fellas, you know, their balls are dropped and all that, and yeah, so we was all playing mods, really, you know.
Right.
So I think The Specials was probably the
Which
first
one? Do you remember?
Yeah, probably Too Much Too Young, and it was
classic
classic,
tune.
and it just reminds me of running with all the Harold Hill mods when I was 13, thinking I was really cool, but I really wasn't. But it was great times.
I love that though. It gives you such a visual. You can imagine you with like your Parker, listening to a bit of The Specials. So when you were a lad, did you have the haircut as well? The mod haircut.
Yeah, and the white socks and the hush puppies and
Amazing.
the trousers turned up like they are now.
Yeah.
You know.
So you were a baby mod.
Baby mod, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
All right, so going back to your younger days, just for a moment.
Yeah.
Was there any music you listened to that your parents disapproved of? Or anything that your
No,
mum was
not
like,
really.
turn that shit off?
No, I don't
or
think so.
hated?
No, I don't think so. I mean, the thing is that, you know, my mum kicked my dad out and we were very young. So there was just me, my mum and my brother until I bought the house off my mum at, like, say, 17 or 18. So for about 5 years, we were just with mum. And we had a very, very open house.
Okay,
you know,
that's
so
cool.
everyone could come and make as much noise as we want. You know, it was, so my mum never really got on the case about anything, to be quite honest. I'll never forget, I never used to do any homework. and I used to go to school, my mates would all bring their homework in. I'd go home and say to my mum, why don't you make me do my homework? All the other mates, their mum and dad make them. Why are you not making me? And she'd go, well, sit down and do your homework. I go, no.
Typical. So, in Essex, growing up, obviously it was a little town. Your nearest big town was Southend. Is that right? Would you go up to London as well?
Probably Southend first.
What was your first gig you remember going to? Did you go and see much live music? About the mod days? Many bands?
No, not really.
No? Can you remember your first gig?
I mean, you know what? I was trying to remember it. Now, I don't know whether it was U2, only because all my mates loved U2.
But you don't love U2.
Well, yeah, I do like U2.
Okay.
But they were obsessed with U2.
Okay, in the 80s?
In the 80s, yeah. So, you know, I'm pretty sure it was a U2 gig.
Okay.
But I can't bloody remember.
Favourite U2 song?
With or Without You.
With or Without You. Classic.
Yeah.
Classic U2. What do you reckon of old Bono then? Fan?
I mean, how can you not be a fan? I mean, I love the fact that, you know, they've split everything 4 ways. I love that, and that's probably why they're still going strong. You know, well, you hear all these stories of, you know, of the Gallaghers. I mean, you know, Noel's, you know, got everything, and Liam ended up with nothing. Even though Liam was probably, you know, a bigger reason why, or not as big a reason why Oasis were as big as they were.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? They're two bloody brothers. Why? You know, it's crazy what's happened now. I love the fact they split everything. You know, I mean, I know that everyone thinks that Bono's quite righteous. You know what I mean?
He does wear sunglasses inside.
Yes, but he's a rock star for fuck's sake.
He's got a condition.
Does he?
Yeah, potentially he'll end up with
And he's
glaucoma,
you want your fucking rock stars.
Is that really a thing?
You want your rock stars to wear sunglasses inside. I mean, that's what it's being a rock star.
So, like, he's allowed to, and Stevie Wonder, but, like, all the time?
If he's a rock star. He do it.
Fine.
But the
Alright,
thing
he's a
is
rock
that,
star.
you know, everyone says he's righteous and all that, but he could very well easily just be sitting back doing fuck all. You know what I mean? At least he's out there trying to do something. You know, he's a great performer. He's a great writer. I mean, yeah, I'm a fan of Bono.
We're a fan of Bono. We've had your early years, you're a mod, you're into the acid house scene. We're going past that, taking you into your adult career. Obviously, hairdressing is the predominant theme through everything, but we want the things that are like running underneath that. So what were some big tracks that you played in your shops? You opened your shop. When you got to Soho and you'd hit it and you were like, yes, this is it. What would you do to like motivate your team in the morning?
Well, the thing is that, to be quite honest, a lot of the guys that worked in my shop in Soho were music nuts.
Okay.
You know, Johnny Russell, DJ, Mark Smith, who was the manager, was obsessed with music. So, did I get a look in? Not really. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
I mean, and to be fair, music is the one thing that I argued about more in my shops with my team than any other thing.
Really?
Yes, because everyone's got a different taste for music, right? So one person in the shop might love this tune, and when you love something, you want to put it up, you want it loud, don't you? You know what I mean? And then there's nothing worse if you're sitting in a shop listening to a song loud you don't like.
Yeah.
And because everyone's taste is different, you know, I always prefer, to be quite honest with you. I mean, don't get me wrong, I never won, and the music was always loud, and it was always, you know, but to have the music. I preferred it when the music was off, to be quite honest with you.
Really?
Yes, in the salon.
So you don't want that vibe of like, you know, you go in, they're all wearing black, they're all like good looking and...
Well, the thing is, I say that, it never happened.
Right.
And you always want what you haven't got, right?
Yeah,
but I was always worried that, well, not worried, but it did. You know, we've done lots of surveys and stuff, and, you know, if the music can't be loud, no matter what, because you're never going to play music that's for everybody.
Right.
And... Yeah, so, you know, I always tried to
Turn it off.
turn it off.
What was one? Is there a track that sticks out that you remember them playing and you being like, turn that goddamn music off?
Well, anything heavy in a salon. You know, anything that's too heavy, just it's a business. You know what I mean? It's not a club. Don't get me wrong. It was always a club in our place,
Right.
but I was always battling that. That's what I'm saying. I was
Okay.
always battling with my team. You know, yeah, you come into work. You've been out on a Friday night, Saturday. You're all buzzed up. You want the music on loud, and you want it to feel like it's a party. And all of a sudden, I'm like, oh no, this is a business. You know what I mean? I've got a 70-year-old woman there who's like, you know, we're all like, so. Yeah, it was always, that was the biggest battle, music.
Right. That's weird, isn't it? I wouldn't have known that.
Yeah.
Having a dance, there's some old biddy there, like, turn it down. All right. So, you're successful, you got your salons, you get onto This Morning, you're doing the telly stuff,
Yeah.
you do your show Scissorhands, and this really hot bird walks on.
Oh, yeah.
The wife,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Jess.
Jess.
Indoors.
Is there a song that reminds you of Jess?
Well,
Memory?
I mean, our song, without a shadow of a doubt, is our first dance song.
Yeah.
Better by Tom Baxter. I mean, it's my ringtone for Jess. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
So,
cute. Where did you hear that? Did you hear that song first together? Or?
No, I think I just heard it when it was the build up to our wedding, and just absolutely love the song. Do you know what I mean? I just love
yeah.
it, and it was. And it just summed up how I felt about Jess. Jess loved it, and yeah, we both wanted it as our first dance, you know. But I tell you, this is how bad I am at dancing, right? Because
Right.
I mean, dancing's one of them things that if you put 100%, you know, effort into it, you're uninhibited with it.
Yeah.
You know, it could be the worst dancer in the world, but it's infectious, right?
Yeah.
You got to go for it, haven't you?
Yeah, I agree.
And you know, I used to always go for it when I was younger, but I was fucking terrible. So the minute you get too self-conscious, you're fucked, don't you? You know what I mean?
That's life in general, I think.
Well,
just don't give a shit.
it is. So originally, what we was going to do for our first dance was start off with Tom Baxter. It was always going to be Tom Baxter. So me and Jess, we went to, which was really good fun actually. We probably went for about, it must have been at least a dozen dance. Lessons at Pineapple Studios,
Okay.
which was really good fun, you know. And it was always going to be Tom Baxter, but after the Tom Baxter song, we was going to break out into Saturday Night Fever and do the whole John Travolta, and I really wanted to learn that dance, you know what I mean? But I was useless. I just couldn't get it.
Really?
And in I just couldn't get it. I'm fucking useless. And so in the end, we went on to, what is it? What was the one at the time where the Chinese
Gangnam
one?
Style.
Gangnam Style. I couldn't even do that. It's pathetic.
So your first dances were Better
Better.
by
Tom Baxter.
Tom Baxter, Almost, Night Fever by the Bee Gees.
Night Fever, yeah.
And
we
then
ditched
it
that
ended
in the
up
end.
being Gangnam Style.
Yeah.
A great selection of songs. And so obviously now you've been married for a few years and you've got 3 gorgeous children. Do you have any songs that remind you of your kids?
So with Angel, Jessie Glynn, Hold My Hand.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we'd put that on and nice and loud, and he would dance like you can't. So cute, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Amazing.
He'd just dance up and down. Old Elvis would have a little go, and yeah. So we play. That's always going to remind me of Angel.
Oh.
But the one that they all get off on, you know, Angel, Elvis, and Sugar. One that just seems to transcend at the moment is Baby Shark, you know. They all love it. They've all got the actions and
Well, in
all
case
the
anyone
moves.
watching doesn't know what Baby Shark is, I feel like you might have to give me a little example
The Baby Shark?
of the song and the moves.
Well, it's just, yeah.
Baby shark do 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 do, baby shark do 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 do, baby shark do 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 do, baby shark. Mommy shark do 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 do, mommy shark do 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 do.
And then it goes on to the daddy one, then it goes to
Yeah.
the grandparents like that, doesn't it?
Because they haven't got any teeth. That's the best bit. They've they've just got this little daddy shark, grandpa shark.
I know, it's infectious though. I mean,
So how did they find that song? Is it a YouTube
yeah,
thing?
I don't know. I think that, you know, now they get to a certain age, kids, and they just start, you know, on the iPad doing this, and one thing leads to another, and they find things, don't they? You know, I mean, Angel's probably found that when he was I don't know, 3, just
Yeah.
tapping away, you know.
And then it's just stuck, and now it's something you listen to every day.
Every day. That is the theme tune to our life.
That would drive me mental.
I know. You just got to go with it.
Yeah.
You just got to go. You got to embrace it. You know what I mean?
When you've got a lot of little people dictating the days, you've just got to
just got to go with it.
keep them happy. I guess.
Roll with it.
Yeah. All right. Brilliant. So now I'm going to go through my quick fire questions. What was the last song you listened to? No, you can't tell me. I'm going to check.
Jessie Ware, I think it was. And what's the song?
Check. Is it going to be something really lame? You'll be like, and actually, it's like.
It was. Yeah, Say You Love Me by Jessie Ware.
Is there a song that you associate with love? I'm guessing this will be the same as your wedding song, unless there's a different one.
Associate with love.
It could be your first love, it could be the love of your parents, it could be the love for your kids. Something that gives you a warm, gooey feeling inside.
I think the one that gives me a gooey feeling inside is Neil Diamond's Sweet Caroline.
Ah.
Because I always remember being in space in Ibiza, outside, out all night partying, sun's coming up, and they would play Sweet Caroline. So that's always the one that makes me feel warm.
Oh, because you're just like, yes, life is good. I'm in Ibiza. I haven't slept in 3 weeks. But it doesn't matter because they're playing Sweet Caroline.
Exactly.
That would
and
be
the
amazing.
sun's coming up.
That would be amazing to experience, And is there a certain song that you listen to when you're sad? Feeling shit? A feeling shit song?
I think the one that I would listen to... What, to make you feel sad or make you feel happy?
Well, either way. Some people like to, revel in their misery, and other people want to have a little lift. So Lee's feeling sad. He's going to play.
Yeah, I don't like to listen to sad songs when I'm feeling sad.
Okay.
I don't think.
You don't want to roll in the misery.
No, and if I'm feeling really happy, I don't mind listening to really sad songs.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
So I'd always pick something uplifting, something that make me smile. I think I haven't played this for a long time because I'm not sad really.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I was sad.
You don't need to be uplifted, but if you were.
So my guilty pleasure would be Chumbawamba. Because
Tub Thumping. Tub Thumping by Chumbawamba.
Is that the one?
Yeah. I get knocked down.
That's the one.
I get up again.
I mean, my mates all used to take the piss out. I love that fucking song. I can't help it. You know what I mean?
So both your guilty pleasure and the thing that you listen to bring you back up again
would probably be that, yeah.
Tub Thumping by Chumbawamba.
Yeah, I love it.
All right.
And it was one of the songs that or even to today, people would take the piss out of me over that song.
Well, you know what? You do you. Being authentic is all you can ever try and be in this life, right? Okay. What song irritates the shit out of you? Is there something that comes on, you're like, turn it off?
Probably something by Justin Bieber.
Not a believer.
I'm a Bieber. I think he's cool now. But when he was what was it? When he was singing Baby, for example.
Baby, yeah.
When that come on, I'd be like, no, just get that off. I can't hear that.
Okay, what do you mean? Quite a decent track, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's got a few tattoos and left monkeys at airports.
Now I think he's as cool as, you know what I mean?
Do you have an under-the-radar song that you love that you think more people should know about?
Well, do you know what? I was in, where was I? I was in Chile, and I was at an event and someone played this song by Poncho called Please Me. I used it for one of my shows.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's under the radar.
I haven't heard of it. Poncho?
Please Me.
No?
But there you go.
Right, so
there you go. So that might be under the radar.
But you think it deserves more recognition?
I think it's a good tune, yeah.
Is there anyone that you know who you would like to hear their soundtrack to their soul?
My wife, Jess. So when she does it, I want to be here listening.
All right, fine. Okay, well, thanks so much, Lee, and that's it for today. Thanks, soundtrack to my soul. Yeah. What's the worst sign-off ever?
Do you want to do another song?
I don't know, I can't think of one. Thanks very much.